When you open a Dairy Milk chocolate bar, it's not just about eating something sweet. It's about remembering something special. Maybe it was your reward for doing well in school. Maybe it was a gift during a festival. Or maybe it was shared with someone you love. For many people, especially in India, Cadbury Dairy Milk is more than just chocolate. It's a feeling, a memory, a part of life. But behind this sweet bar is a story full of struggle, belief, failure, hard work, and a dream that refused to die. The story starts in the 1800s, in a small shop in England. A young man named John Cadbury owned that shop. He was born in 1801 into a strict Quaker family. Quakers believed in simple living. They didn't drink alcohol or smoke. John saw how alcohol destroyed people's lives. Men getting drunk, families falling apart, children going hungry. So he made a promise. He would fight alcohol, not with anger, but with something better. He started selling a new kind of drink, made from cocoa beans. It was like a chocolate drink, but bitter and very expensive to make. Still, John believed it could help people stay away from alcohol. He worked hard, day and night, trying to make it better. But business was not easy. Customers didn't take him seriously. His small factory was not making much money. He asked his brother Benjamin to join, and together they started Cadbury Brothers. But soon, money problems grew. The business almost collapsed. Benjamin gave up. John stepped away. It looked like the dream was over. But then, something amazing happened. His sons, George and Richard Cadbury, took over the business. They were young, but they had their father's passion. They didn't just want to make money. They wanted to make something good, something pure. They made sure their chocolates were clean, safe, and high quality. They treated their workers with respect, built houses for them, gave them good working conditions. In fact, they built a whole village called Bourneville for their workers to live better lives. And then, in 1905, something changed everything. Cadbury launched a new chocolate, smooth, sweet, and full of milk. They called it Dairy Milk. People loved it. It became an instant favorite. It wasn't just a snack anymore, it was happiness in a wrapper. But the journey didn't stay easy. When World War I and World War II happened, things became very hard. Workers went to war, factories were damaged, raw materials were hard to find. But Cadbury didn't close. They kept going. They hired women, sent chocolate to soldiers, and supported the country. Years passed, and in 1948, Cadbury came to India, just after India became independent. The timing was special, a new country and a new chocolate. But India already had its own sweets, like laddus and barfi. People were not sure about this new foreign chocolate, so Cadbury did something smart. They didn't just sell chocolate, they told stories. They showed a father giving dairy milk to his daughter after her dance performance, a brother giving it to his sister on Raksha Bandhan, a couple sharing it on their anniversary. Slowly, people connected with it emotionally, and Cadbury became a part of Indian families. But then came a big problem. In 2003, people found worms in dairy milk bars. The news spread fast. People stopped trusting the brand, sales dropped, shops stopped selling it. It was a scary time. But Cadbury didn't hide. They stood up and took responsibility. They changed their packaging, made their quality checks stronger, and they brought in Amitabh Bachchan, a trusted face, to tell people that Cadbury was safe again. He asked in the ad, "Kya aapke chocolate mein kida hai?" and assured everyone that Cadbury had changed. People believed him, sales came back, trust returned, and Cadbury was stronger than ever. Over the years, their ads have touched hearts, like the Shubh Aram campaign before exams or the girl dancing on the cricket field after a winning shot. These ads weren't about selling a product, they were about sharing emotions. But what's really behind Cadbury's success? It's not just chocolate, it's honesty, it's passion, it's getting up after falling. It's about caring more about people than just money. It's about choosing the right thing, even when it's hard. That's the real story. That's what students and entrepreneurs can learn. Maybe you're going through tough times. Maybe your dream feels far away. Maybe people are doubting you. But remember, Cadbury also struggled. They failed. They were nearly destroyed. But they kept going. They didn't quit. They turned pain into power, failures into lessons, and a small idea into a global emotion. If they can do it, so can you. Cadbury started with one man and one belief that chocolate could be more than just a sweet, that it could bring joy, that it could replace alcohol, that it could heal. And look what it became. You might not be building chocolate, but you're building something. A dream, a career, a future. And it won't be easy. But every fall you face, every no you hear, every failure you suffer is preparing you for something bigger. Just like Cadbury's journey. So the next time you hold a dairy milk in your hand, think about that story. The struggles, the risks, the faith. And remember, your story is also being written. Keep working, keep believing, keep going. Because one day, your name, your creation, might also become someone else's reason to smile. Just like Cadbury Dairy Milk. Even today, when people take a bite of dairy milk, they don't think about factories or marketing. They think about moments. The moment they first shared it with a friend, the moment they gave it to someone they liked but couldn't find the words, the moment it made a festival feel brighter, a celebration feel sweeter, or a tough day feel a little easier. That's the real power of Cadbury. It became part of our lives without asking for attention. It just quietly stayed with us. Through childhood, through growing up, through love, through life. And that happened because Cadbury was never just about making money. It was about doing the right thing. Always. When workers needed homes, Cadbury gave them homes. When the world was at war, they stood with people, not just profits. When India didn't trust them after the worm incident, they didn't run. They stood in front of the country with honesty. They listened, learned, and improved. This is the kind of character that turns a brand into a legend. And it's the same kind of character that turns an ordinary person into someone great. You don't need to be rich or powerful to begin. John Cadbury started with a small idea. Give people a better choice than alcohol. He had no big office, no investors, just belief. And that belief was passed down from generation to generation, through his sons, through their families, and eventually into the hearts of millions. Think about that for a second. What started as a tiny shop in England became a name that millions in India love more than their own traditional sweets. That's not luck, that's purpose. That's the result of doing good work with good intentions, again and again, for years. Even when no one is watching, even when it's hard. So if you're someone starting your own journey, if you've ever asked, will I make it? Remember this. Everyone who made it once asked the same question. Everyone who built something meaningful once started with doubt, fear, and failure. But the difference is, they didn't stop. They didn't let fear decide the ending. Just like Cadbury didn't stop when people laughed at cocoa drinks. Just like George and Richard didn't give up when the company was failing. Just like Cadbury India didn't run when people lost trust. They stood their ground, improved, and came back stronger. This is what greatness looks like. Not perfection, but persistence. The courage to keep going when it's easier to quit. The choice to stay kind when the world gets cruel. And the commitment to do better, even after you failed. Look around today. Everyone wants quick success, quick money, quick fame. But Cadbury's story teaches us something different. Real success takes time. It takes patience, discipline, sacrifice. It takes waking up every day and doing the work, whether you feel like it or not. It takes losing, learning, and still choosing to love the work you do. And if you can do that, not for 1 week or 1 month, but for years, then one day, your work will speak for you. Your story will inspire others, just like Cadbury's story inspires us. Because in the end, this is more than a story about chocolate. It's about how values can shape a business, how small ideas can become big dreams, how honesty, love, and effort, even in silence, can build something unforgettable. So dream big, start small, But most importantly, stay real. You don't need to impress the world, you just need to serve it. One step at a time, one honest act at a time. Cadbury did it through wars, through failures, through doubts. And they built something timeless. You can too. Whatever your dream is, a shop, a startup, a skill, a career, protect it. Respect it. And never forget why you started. Because someday, someone might taste the sweetness of your dream. And it might change their life, just like Cadbury changed ours.